Good morning.
Morning.
Can anyone hear us? Oh, I need to go to. I forgot. I need to go to YouTube and have a look.
I got it over here too, so let's see what it. Oh.
Oh yeah.
We have audio.
Yeah, it's picking up our voices, so that was great.
Okay. I think this is.
We definitely need to learn more about this kind of gadget kind of things.
Yeah. We're definitely technologically impaired. So.
So, anyways, let's start our live stream this week.
Sure. So, where did you get this content, or where did you get the target number from? Where is this from?
Well, this is from Goro's website, and recently we we get to know someone who has been making remote viewing applications using blockchain technology, and this guy is called Goro, and he demonstrated us how to use this, and we think that it has some potential, so we just give it a try and see how it will go. Basically, it's very easy to set up. You just assign the target and put in the target details, and using your MetaMask or other blockchain wallets and submit your transaction, then your target will be recorded on the blockchain.
Well, and so what's the purpose of doing this? I mean, explain the. I mean, for me, it took a long time to understand what the purpose was. So describe what the purpose of putting your data on the blockchain.
Well, there has been many advantages for this. For example, one of the key factors for using blockchain-based technology for remote viewing is to ensure the data integrity and also ensure that no viewers are exposed to any information from the target, and what we call front loading. Because we always want the participant to do it blind unless it's specified by the tasker that this target can be done with front loaded information. And using blockchain technology, you can ensure that all of the information are kept secret prior to the reveal of the target.
So Goro mentioned single blind and double blind.
Uh-huh.
Double blind means absolutely nobody knows what the target is.
Yeah.
Single blind usually means that somebody knows what the target is. So was this a single or a double blind?
Well, based on his current design is just simple blind, because the tasker still has some information, still knows the target.
Okay.
And it's possible for the tasker to give information directly or indirectly to those remote viewers. But Goro also said in yesterday's message in our Discord group that he is trying to develop a double blind system that that enables double blind, complete double blind remote viewing session to be done on blockchain, and it can be proved by all the blockchain nodes that this experiment and this remote viewing session is indeed carried with under double blind condition, and it's not contaminated.
Right. For those who don't know and don't understand, when you have a set of data on a target, which is what I got, this data comes from a target number that nobody knows what the target is. There is no bleed through, there's no psychic transfer. That is a blind target. Now this is a single blind. That means somebody does know, but Guro's working on the double blind aspect, which is much more, definitely much more secure. Mm-hmm. So for those who are thinking about cheating at remote viewing, good luck. So you ready to look at the data?
Sure. Let's see what we have got for this week. Actually, I'm very glad that we have got 3 participants, because I just assigned the target. I think yesterday morning.
We definitely have been falling down on keeping up on the contest going, but yeah, I last minutes, but that's okay. We have a participant who you got Dark Soul, right?
Yeah.
We have a participant who's a young kid that is just a go-getter. He is a go-getter, so I'm totally impressed. So anyways, with no further ado, here is the data.
Mm-hmm.
So let me minimize the screen just a little bit. All right. Okay. So is this like the top of the page?
Yeah,
it's the top of the page.
That is a thumbnail picture I chose, and this is our remote viewing contest number 72, and describe the target number 5B10-13E4, and yeah, you can comment your data on the and keywords in our Twitter blog post, or you can submit your data GoRo's website, which is it's called PySchool, and you can. But now, because this session has been ended, so you can no longer submit the data. So it also ensures that no one can do any post editing and see the target first, and then try to gamble or try to cheat again.
Right, because it's set and finished. You can't add data to it, and you can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it works out really good.
And this week we have got 3 participants. The first one is, of course, is me, and the second one is Jack, and we have got Darso joining from India. And so the first is my data. I did it like 2 hours ago, about around 6 a.m. in the morning, and my first visual is cloud and large body of water, but I feel that it's sunny and overcast, and this further downwards, and this is the initial impression I get, and there is something in the middle of the screen, but I cannot describe it very detailed. And now moving on, that's the second page of my data. Again, I see a vertical structure. That is the most prominent impression I get in my remote viewing session, and the perpendicular structure, and it's huge. And here I got an AOL. It's a towering beanstalk going from the ground to the sky, which reminds me of the stories I read in my childhood, where a guy called Jack, and he climbs up. he climbs up that towering beanstalk and going to the kingdom of the giants.
So yeah. you literally were viewing a target, and you can see in your mind's eye this giant beanstalk. But wow, that's kind of cool, because there's a lot of aspects there that are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
So that's the most prominent impression I get. But usually when you get a visual that is so vivid, you want to get rid of it, because obviously there is some truth in this information, but usually we call it AOL, analytic overlay. It's just your personal interpretation of the signal line, and that is so strong that it affects the quality of your data.
Right, and it'll also emotionally impact you, because this is a childhood story that you know, from your childhood. So it's going to rush in and swamp out all the data.
And then you start castle building a lot of things on top of that.
Right.
Like, after Jack climbing out to the clouds, what did he do? He go to the gigantic palace and to steal their treasure.
Right.
Kind of things. And so if you just follow your thoughts unconsciously and walk randomly, it will corrupt your data. So that's when you need to take a brief stop.
Well, and the sad thing is, with castle building, even though your data is corrupt and there's a lot of garbage, and with castle building, there's still an element in there that may or may not have something to do with it. It's like, how far back can you trim to where the data is good,
Mm-hmm.
and you just it's castle building is a true thing. Anyways, now that we have Jack and the Beanstalk, he's climbed the beanstalk, and
moving on, because I think I know that is a story and it's quite imaginative, so I wrote down the word imaginative.
that's a really good descriptor, though.
I drew another ideogram. Once again, we see the vertical component in it and a vertical line. So to me, feels like the vertical line represents the ground, and the perpendicular stuff that whatever it is something big and huge, and it goes very tall. That is my interpretation, and I describe there is a swirling component to it, and I feel the curl because of the way I draw my ideogram. And for colors, I perceive it to be green, blue, and black. These are the three dominant colors I get.
I got gray, black, tan, and red and white, but I definitely picked up black, and I was really surprised with black. So that's interesting. Green, blue, and black.
And this is the last page of my data. Again, you see only the vertical stuff, and what that stuff is, I don't know. But it's not just one of them. I perceive there are multiples of this huge, gigantic, perpendicular, vertical stuff that goes from the ground to the sky. They are very high and they are very big, and whatever that is, I just don't know. But I think that's the main thing of this target.
Well, what is the soft but firm?
Very, very hard to describe because when I touch it, it feels kind of soft, but when I press it, I cannot press further down.
So is it like wood has a rough exterior that's soft, but it's very firm underneath the outside.
Yes.
So do you think maybe these are trees?
Yes, it's one of my interpretation of, because you see in the earlier pages I described it as beanstalk going from the ground to the sky. So I think it's possible that vertical structure can be some big trees in the forest. It's possible.
It really sounds like redwoods. I mean, it sounds like a giant redwood where you keep looking up, and it's 150, 200 feet tall. So, but the black is kind of strange. Maybe I don't know. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and that concludes my session. I spent about 15 minutes working on this. So it's actually not a lot of time. Even 5 minutes or 10 minutes of session, it still works.
Right. It's the initial rush of data that you get when you set up something. The initial rush of data is the most important part, and as you analyze it and draw out what you need to draw out, that's the important part. So it's not the amount quality; it's the quality of time, not the quantity. All right, and then mine. I got a structure, people, plant, some unknown ideogram, water. I got movement, something hidden. There's a rise, there's a valley, and a decline or an incline. So those are my ideograms. The color is gray, black, red, and white. But for whatever reason, the moon landing or moon shot, like a moon base, and I don't know why I've got one set of data that shows plants and water, and then I have another set of data here that shows a moon or a space landing, because it was gray, it was rocky, it had a funky smell, there was a bowl shape to it, kind of like you're sitting in a crater or a big radar dish in the ground. I mean, this really truly could have been, what's that big radar dish that started falling apart in South America?
I don't know the name. I don't remember it, but I know what you are talking about.
Yeah. So if it's not a moonshot, then it could be that radar that was buried in the ground in South America. It felt industrial. It felt there's gray, there's rocks, but I also picked up the water and I picked up the water and the plant life. So I don't know. I was at a loss for that one. And this is Dark Soul.
Very high quality data.
If you look, he's got these upright things just like you did. So unfamiliar things.
Yeah,
nice.
and hollow space and
ozone and dust. He's picking up the ozone and dust like I did. Wow, something ancient metallic. What the heck? Go Dark Soul, go. Metallic. Yeah, I was picking up metallic. Obsidian. I don't know.
Geometry hollow related to aliens question mark and earthly decay, and it's kind of non-human, and it's unknown subject and it feels rusty, and how frequency not confined. I heard high too, and it's light but dingy light. Any portal or something not defined yet, unfamiliar. So basically, I think the most prominent thing is the ideograms and the visual perception that he described on his paper.
Right.
That is very, I would say, strikingly similar to what I described. Just vertical, tall structures and multiples of them.
Well, it's funny because he picked up stuff from both of us. He picked up your tall structures. He picked up my ozone and dust, something old, something metallic, and a little bit geometric, hollow. I mean, all three of our sets of data are similar. So this is going to be, I'm going to have to give him a thumbs up because damn, that's good. All right, so what is the target reveal?
You see the target reveal?
That's the target?
Yes, it's an ARV target. By ARV, it means Associative Remote Viewing. We use two sets of different pictures, and the remote viewer is tasked to describe what they perceived in their session, and if their description matches the one or two one or two of the design picture, then yeah, it can be considered a hit. But it's generally considered that the pit picture is reveals what's going to happen in the nest. In the nest of say.
So, there's two pictures.
Yeah, there are.
And we have to take our data and describe which one of these two pictures. I'm looking at the fox, and I'm trying to figure out why am I looking at the fox. But I realize that, there's bowl shapes right there next to them. I actually it looks like I picked up both of them. Okay, guys, I'll let you take a look at the second picture. It's a cityscape with the birds, and I've actually seen this picture drawn before. You have movement, you have the birds, you have the cityscape. You have structures, and just like Lynn and Dark Soul drew, there is upright buildings just like they drew. Yet with the fox, you have upright structures with the trees, and that would feel like more organic. So I don't know. This is going to be a tough one to call because I would say I'm picking up on aspects of both. I have two distinct feels. Here with the birds is a gray. It's gritty. It's got an undertone of activity. Yeah. Wow. So we had two targets to choose, and
yes.
There was no distinct single target.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, and that's why ARV is not very good at certain aspects of targets. For example, because it's possible that for remote viewers, pick up both aspects of the target image. So in that case, we really have some difficulty in determining which picture is really chosen by what remote viewer.
Yeah, because some of us are picking up. Lynn definitely picked up structures that were upright, and he had the green, the blue, and the black, which would be the second picture of the cityscape. I mean, unless you think it'd be the other one. Which, to you, which one feels like it was the better picture?
If I have to categorize my description, then I will say it fits better with number 2. Yeah, the second one. And looking at Darso's data, I think that it's very clear that Darso is describing the second picture.
Hollow, really, earthly decay, rust, low frequency, definitely got a frequency. I don't know. Let's take a look at the pictures again. Wow. That's number 1, and that's number 2. And there's definitely, you got your plants, you got your smog. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's number 2.
Mm-hmm.
But, unfortunately for me, because we have both elements in both pictures of upright and oxygen, and I don't know. I couldn't decide which one it is for me. I mean, even with all the data that I'm looking at, I can't tell you which one of these is the right picture. But I'll tell you what, it's really cool that we got so many aspects of these pictures.
I would say the biggest difference between these two pictures is the natural scene and the urban environment.
Right.
Yeah, if any of us describe it as a pure natural environment or pure urban environment, then I would consider it as a good indication of which picture to go for.
Yeah. I mean, the worst part is this AI picture of the cityscape has plants in it. If they didn't include the plants, it'd be great. I mean, now I'm like, I don't know, Lynn. Wow. That was one more thing I wanted to look at. So the winner of the NBA Finals. So what this is an ARV for the winner of the NBA Finals in June.
Yeah, you can further move down and you will see the original tasking of the target. And so this is an associative remote viewing target. The description of both task images will be generated using the ChatGPT 4.1 API at 7 a.m. PDT time on Sunday, June 21st, 2025. And target A is associated with the Indiana Pacers winning the 2025 NBA championship.
Wait. So this is the task for winning the championship? I thought we already did that one.
Yes, but this is not for our weekly remote viewing. It's just a private session.
No, I thought we did. Wasn't the first contest to determine the overall winning the championship that me and you did?
You mean which one?
When we did our first ARV on that, and we came up with the conclusion.
Yes. So I will, and now it's been 3 days since we did our session on this. So I would like to see if anything has changed during this period of time. So I assigned a new ARV target for this one.
So I see. So this is a new target of the same thing.
Yes.
Oh my God, it scared the crap out of
me. It's a new tasking for the same target because this outcome, the outcome of the NBA final has not been determined yet. And
so which one is which? Okay, so it says here the target A is Indian Pacers.
Uh-huh.
And that's the one I kind of was leaning toward.
Uh-huh.
because the bull, the shape right here is what really clued me in.
Yes.
That is for India Pacers. Target B is associated with the Oklahoma City winning the 20. So you're thinking that this is a possibility that the thunderstorms or whatever they're called may win, because our data shows a good strong possibility that this picture here may be the winner.
Yes, even though it kind of violates what we did for this target last time. But
yeah, there is no hard and fast rule, but I mean, wow. Okay, so this is a second look at. Just so you know that I got excited and we put a little money down. So I don't gamble, I take chances. So okay, so you can see the details here written. That's what they used to draw the pictures with. So this is what I'm using for my lottery stuff too. So it works pretty good. Okay, cool. I'm going to drop that. Lynn, you scared the crap out of me. Well, because what we just did was to determine something that we've already done, and I was confused. And now I'm thinking,
it's 3 days ago.
Yes, and now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, did we just do an ARV on something and it's changed? Or
but it's a different set of pictures.
I know, but I mean,
yeah, last time when Google showed us the target is. I think one is shot in Paris, and the other is I think it's Niagara Falls.
Right, and there was a big difference between the two.
Yeah, but urban environment versus a natural one. It's also the same goal for this set of pictures. I don't know why, but it's randomly picked by AI.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will tell you what. With my data, I'm still happy with number one.
You're still happy with number one.
I'm happy with the NBA. So the deal with this, folks, is the contest that we just did was to determine the outcome of a basketball game. And I don't watch basketball, and I don't bet because I have no money. Lynn doesn't bet because he thinks he doesn't want to take a chance. I'm trying to convince him that it's good to take a chance. But his data, he thinks, shows that there's a possibility that, the Pacers may not win. So we're going to see. I mean, when was the game?
I think the final will be on Sunday.
Okay, Indiana Pacers, if you're watching.
Just tomorrow.
Go Pacers, go. Go Pacers, go. I don't watch basketball and I don't watch sports, but you know what? This is exciting. I want to see if my predictions of my data actually prove, if it's actually going to prove anything. So the nice thing is, if you guys want to look at it, it is now recorded on blockchain. What Lynn and Darksol didn't make it either.
Yeah, Darksol.
Okay, so we're all on. You guys can look us up and look at the data now, and the first contest that me and Lynn did is recorded as well.
Yes, but it's not done in public. It's in our private Discord group. And
if Pacers win, I'm gonna bring it out in the public, and I'm gonna show you guys that me and Lynn as a team.
Well, yeah,
can do this.
In the previous session, my data also showed a prominent man-made structure, and it appears that based on the testing from Goro, it appears that Indiana Pacers will win the.
That's right, folks.
Yeah.
You heard it from Lynn. It appears that Pacers may win. So, thumbs up.
It indeed won in the last in the last game like 2 days ago.
Yeah. I have no money and I can't bet on this, but if I did, I probably wouldn't. But it's still exciting. It's still exciting, folks. So just remember, gambling is bad. Unless you have money you can throw away. So.
Or unless you have psychic information.
Unless you have psychic information. You heard it from Lynn.
That can peer into the future.
And for the right price, we can... I don't That is cool. Yeah, that just scared the poop out of me. I can't believe we did an ARV on an existing target. That was great.
Well, because it's an ongoing event.
Right.
And people would like to know the outcome. And if you go to Polymarket to see how much money has been poured into the predicting the result of this game, you will see there are like 6 million. I believe it's $6 million being put inside this game.
Right.
Yeah, just for betting on which one is going to.
It would be fun to set up a. It would be fun to set up a simple ARV for gamblers, to allow gamblers to get a hold of a group of people to do a simple ARV at a gambling place where they can legally gamble, and then have the ARV set up and everybody understand what's going on, to where they can make a target and choose the picks, and then a bunch of people can immediately start dropping information on it. I mean, having that available for gamblers to draw on as far as part of their, routine or whatever.
Yeah.
To me, it'd be a win-win. Again, I'd like to talk to casinos, see if that's even viable, but...
Yeah, that's a very, I would say, a niche toolkit for those who...
Well, if a gambler really wants just that inside edge, it would be an easy access. All they have to do is describe the target. I want to know this and this. And then you can actually have an AI spit out 2 pictures, and then it can be sent to a group of people who just, they got no time. Or they get time on their hands, and they can just do a quick data set. And then a transaction would be, we're going to pay you for your data set, and the gambler can either run with it or not run with it.
Yeah.
So again, this is part of my app, and I got this great idea, and I need money, folks. So send me money so I can make my app and make this happen for all those gamblers out there. And go Pacers! Go Pacers! Yay!
And in fact, I believe some other remote viewing groups that have adopted this kind of strategy to help their clients make better decisions. For example, one I saw from Future Forecasting Group is that they use ARV to do market predictions, like what is going to happen to oil price, say in the next month or in the next quarter. Yeah, these kind of things. It's all public. They have been doing experiments on this, and it shows that. And so far, the data shows that it looks very promising for this kind of applications. Especially, even though there are also some limitations with ARV, but I think as time goes by, we will find ways to overcome some of the obstacles.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of obstacles because I did 3 months of ARV every morning, and my score went from really high to terrible, and not just terrible, but I mean wrong. So
well, maybe you should share about the details of your these several months of ARV trials.
So every
why do you why do you start this ARV journey?
On Reddit, somebody posted they were looking for remote viewers. The remote viewers were sent a Google Doc, and every morning you just go through and you fill out each of the views. So there are like 6 views a day, and these were for stock market prices. But that didn't matter. What mattered was somebody had drawn 6 pictures every day for this, and they had a bunch of us looking at it. And initially, I was getting about 70 to 80% right. The answer was correct, the data was good, and it matched the outcome after the day or the target was passed. I was able to see that somebody would go back and say, yeah, you did good, this is the market thing. Well, eventually my hit rate dropped off to a point where it was below 50-50. And in order to get below 50-50, you have to be doing something very, very wrong, because laws of average state 50-50 is the average.
Yes.
And if you're below the average, something's wrong. And
Is it just slightly below the average, or
no?
significantly
It was
below the
significant.
average?
It was where I was like 70 to 80% on my initial, right? Correct. I was significantly below the average. I was like 30%, which is significantly below the average of 50%. So, and I never was able to get back to, 50% or above. It tanked.
Yeah, because even random guess will give you a result like close to 50-50.
50%, yeah.
Even if you don't use any of remote viewing attempts or skill, and you just random guess it's going up, it's going down.
Right.
You just random guess every day. You will still get a number like 50 times right and 50 times
right.
50 times wrong, something like that.
Right, and it was for me. I don't know. Maybe I was trying too hard because every day I'd spend about an hour doing this, and every day I document all my data sets, and I would describe everything I saw on every single target they gave me, and I just couldn't pull it out. So I know it works. I just have to figure out how to keep it working. And that was my one big ARV experience. But I think we can modify it, and then once we figure out why the ARV did that for me, we can look into it. There's a lot of reasons out there, so I'm just kind of wondering. Well, I mean, how we interpret our data could be one thing, because when I did the side test, it was the same thing. The side test, I had two choices. I had a right choice and a wrong choice. And I kept consistently getting the wrong choice. And I would describe that wrong choice in detail. In fact, if you look at the remote viewing contest that they have on Facebook, a lot of people are saying the same thing, that they are literally drawing and detailing the wrong choice consistently. So, it makes me wonder.
Yeah.
So,
strange things happen.
Exactly. Let's see what else we got. We got
we have got Goro's new app covered, and we also examine our remote viewing data and practice for this week. And Jeff also shared about some of his past experiences on ARV, and it also actually we have done a lot more than just what we presented to you guys. For example, we also tried ARV for a set of pictures. It's not just 2, but 3 or 4 or even more. And sometimes it happens that all of us nailed the picture, but it turns out that maybe I hit the target, but the other ones hit the picture, but it's exact picture, but not the target, but the other ones.
Right.
So and in this situation we call it displacement, because other parts of the other information from other pictures may kind of affect the viewer in some way, because it's also part of the target, even though that's not the desired outcome.
Right. The desired outcome is to decide which is going to happen in the future, or which is the right choice. And wow, I just lost my train of thought.
Yeah. Anyway, when you present like a bunch of information, mix information together, like 10 pictures in a set of ARV target, then it's very possible that remote viewers, even though they successfully get some information about a target, but in doing so, they inadvertently being contaminated by the noises from other pictures.
Oh, on that note, so I did the Euro Millions, the Euro Millions lottery. Lynn showed me how to pull up 50 random pictures and 12 lucky pictures. So that basically, the Euro Million has 1 through 50 and 1 through 12, right? So 5, 1 through 50, 2, 1 through 12. I was amazed that the data I got, which I got 3 of the 5 numbers, was pretty consistent. And I was able to, we didn't draw the 50 pictures. We drew 50 descriptors. Right?
Yeah, 50 descriptions, because having AI set up 50 pictures for you will take like at least 1 or 2 hours to do so.
Right. So yeah, and because I'm pressed on time, I just went with the descriptions. But I got 3 of the 5 numbers, and it was really kind of amazing that some of my descriptions matched none of the stuff that the poll. I mean, even with this huge list, I completely missed some of the descriptors. So while I got 3, the other 2 random descriptions fit absolutely nothing. And it was kind of interesting to see how far off I was, yet I was still able to pull in 3 numbers. So I'm going to keep trying that. I think it's a great setup. It's just
I remember,
very labor intensive.
I remember how excited you were last night when you found out that you actually nailed three numbers out of 5.
Yeah.
So it's all documented on his live stream. I think it's 2 days ago, right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, the funny thing is the lottery has been a big dream of mine. So there's a pick 4 here in Washington that pays $10,000. I mean, that's 4 numbers, folks. I just got to pick 1 out of 24. So that's a hell of a lot easier than the Euro Millions, and it pays $10,000.
Can you give us some information on who assign you this target, or what your?
My goal is to make money off the lottery.
Okay.
And my goal is to actually have clients come to me and say, hey, I want you to pick numbers for the lottery.
So basically, there was a client who assigned you this target to do a Euro Million lottery draw prediction.
So the deal is, on Fiverr, somebody contacted me and asked how much it would cost to do a lottery pick for them. And I told them, no, don't worry about it. Let me work on it for free. So all this effort is for this person who said, hey, how much would it cost?
So for those who would like to get your service, they can reach you on Fiverr, right?
Right. You can, Jeffro Destructo, I think it's Jeffro Destructo on Fiverr. Now, I can't guarantee that I'm going to do a free video on lottery picks, but I will, if I got time, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, for those who are interested, you can reach Jeff through his Fiverr account, and we will post the link description in the description section below.
So we have me, and I'm trying to remember the names of all the people on Fiverr. There's 4 or 5 really good remote viewers. Me, Kyle, Becky, and I can't remember their screen names. But when I get a chance, I'm going to try to make a listing with everybody that wants to be involved, because we all have different skills. And so if this is something you guys want to look at or have somebody do, then you contact us, and we can either tell you where to go, or we can help you with what you got. And then Lynn here, if you have a target and you want to set it on our contest, then either come to my Discord or contact me on Fiverr. And on Fiverr, they have a chat where you can chat with me too. So, and then I will get the message to Lynn, and Lynn can take it from there.
Sure.
So, yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, we can have people coming in, and I can just direct them to you, and then you can set up some sort of contest for them. We can actually use our stuff for contests. So. I'm tired.
I'm excited.
You're excited? Because the Pacers are going to win? Woo, go Pacers!
also looking at how our remote viewing data for this week, even though it's all just AI generated material, yeah, the prompts and descriptions for the AI image comes from AI as well, and the AI also do the rendering of that picture.
Right.
And it appears that even if it's just pure machine generated data, it appears that remote viewers can still somehow pick out that information.
Right, and I didn't even think about that. That was an AI generated
prompt
and picture, and
yes.
we nailed big aspects. The upright, the verticals. I mean, we just nailed a lot of the aspects of this. We, you know, a lot of noise, but we also got a lot of aspects. You're right. That is really exciting.
Yeah.
Having AI be able to pull up a random picture and then us being able to identify it is big. That's really big.
Yeah, I think that's one lesson learned, that even AI generated data in the future can be picked up psychically by those who have the remote viewing skills.
That's right. So chatbot, you better watch your P's and Q's, because there's a bunch of remote viewers out there watching your every move. You heard me, chatbot.
That's interesting.
No, that's kind of cool, because that means we can keep track of them little buggers. I am so worried about AI taking over everything. So,
well,
Lynn here, of course, uses AI for everything. I'm old school. I like hammers and things of destruction. So me and AI don't get along very well. I just don't quite understand it. So, but he's working on me. And teaching me. Anyways, what else we got?
I think we are good. It's close to an hour. So
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. At some point, I'm going to try to get Lynn to prep. I'm going to try to get Lynn to make a prepper's bucket that when he gets home, if he ever goes home, I'm going to have Lynn have a 5-gallon bucket full of essential items. So we're going to make a video of this, and we're all going to laugh together as Lynn takes ordinary items and has them for prep for emergencies like power outages and storms and earthquakes, because you are on the zone of fire, the ring of fire. So we're going to get him, folks. We're going to get him prepped up and ready to go, and he's going to be one of us. So, yeah, good times later this week. And hopefully you guys are enjoying my shorts too, because Lynn's putting a lot of effort into those. So, all right.
Everyone with their microphone muted. That's
time.
new.
I'm going to go take a nap.
Yeah, we get out very early.
Yeah, I did a remote view last night that was very intense, and slept like absolute dog poop. So anyways, all right guys, well, thank you very much for swinging by and watching our video, and
thank you guys.
You guys take it easy.
Bye.